Hey scrappers, Tom from iScrap, and today we want to go over some of the parts that are inside of a computer and some of the different types of boards when you go to scrap them. So as you can see in front of you, you're going to have a bunch of different types of material, and we'll start from the left and go over. These are memory over here. Now while many of you know that this is actually a CPU chip, scrapyards are going to buy this like a memory because of the plastic that's attached, as well as the extra green board compared to normal CPU chips like these that we'll talk about in a little while. Memory can be silver coated, they can also be gold coated. You want to make sure to have them as clean as possible. Oftentimes you'll see them come with aluminum on them. Those are going to be a lower price, obviously, because there's going to be contamination. This piece of memory, you can see a couple of pieces of aluminum and also plastic lining in it. This is something where you want to be able to pull these clips off and make sure that when you go to sell it, that this is taken off nice and easy, clean, and you'll be able to have a nice clean memory when you go to sell it. So scrappers, often when you start to take your computers apart, we recommend taking them apart when you have 10 or more. That's going to be able to have you make the most money. You're going to have all your tools ready and handy, and then you'll be able to take a lot of the pieces that are attached to the motherboard and really separate them to make a couple of extra dollars. First thing you're going to do is pop these two pins up, and you're going to pull all the memory out. Memory is going to be worth a heck of a lot more than the motherboards. While they don't weigh a lot, after a long time, it'll almost be like a little bonus when you get to cash them in at your scrapyard. Next thing you want to look for is the CPU. Oftentimes, you just pop this little thing up, and the CPU will come right out, and then you'll be able to take these. Again, they're not very heavy, but when you get a lot of them, you'll be able to put them together and get a couple of extra dollars. You're also going to see the aluminum heatsink that's going to be attached. There might be multiple ones. This one had a couple of little pins on it. You'll be able to pull it up real quick, or take a wrench and just pop it nice and easy. Take this aluminum, put it with your sheet aluminum, and you'll make a couple of extra dollars because you'll have a cleaner board. Now when you see this motherboard, you're going to see a lot of different connectors here, here, and so on. These all have little pieces of gold in them, and this is what the scrapyard's looking for to be able to sell, as well as the little bits of copper that are going to be attached inside of these chips throughout. Now this motherboard has steel on the back. One thing you want to do is take either a crowbar or the right tools and make sure that this steel gets removed. You're going to get a much higher price because this steel weighs just as much as this motherboard here does. So you want to make sure to take that apart. Now, moving on, you can see another board. This is a low-grade board. These boards come from VCRs, TVs, and other simple, basic consumer electronics like ovens, dishwashers, and even microwaves. These are very low value. There might be a small amount of copper inside, but there's not going to be much gold, silver, or other precious metals. These are going to be a very low-grade item. We recommend that you do scrap them because you'll be taking apart the other things to get the wire. You'll be able to take this, snip this off, snip this off. While they don't weigh a lot now, once you get a lot of them, they will start to weigh up. Moving on, this is some of the CPUs that we were talking about. These different CPUs have different prices depending on how much quantity and quality. These smaller CPUs are a lot of the newer ones, and this little silver looking thing, if you scratch it, it's actually copper. That's why these are some of the cheaper boards. Here's just a couple of different examples. They both have copper on the back. This one on your left has gold pins sticking up, while this new one just has flat gold pins. That just shows how much better the technology is becoming, but unfortunately how much cheaper that these CPUs are going to become. Going over, this is a video card from a server. This might be used inside of a school system or a business. It's a very good board, but again, you're going to see steel on the back. You always want to make sure to pop this off. You'll almost double your money on your scrap. There's going to be gold pins on it, and there's going to be other places where there's going to be gold inside. Really nice item to be able to sell at your scrapyard. Most of the time you can combine them with your motherboards or other server boards. Last but not least, you're going to see what we like to call a floppy disk drive. This one's already been taken apart and baffled around a little bit, but it normally will have a board on it that's a little better than a low-grade board. But if you sell it like it is, most scrapyards will buy it similar to a low-grade board, maybe a little higher if you have a lot of them. This is Tom from the iScrap app. Any other tips that we can give you on PC scrap, you just let us know. Scrap you later.